So Seiji Liu joins us. Thanks so much for being here with us. We appreciate it. For folks who are not familiar with Form, can you give us a little bit of background on the company, what got started, and where you guys are in the market now?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having us on, Ryan. Form, we're a wellness technology company based in the US. We essentially create products that are, therapeutic devices that are built into activewear that essentially teach your body to have better posture and a whole host of other positive health benefits that come out of it. Essentially, when you think about the body itself, we're constantly putting in this digital age our bodies into positions where we're kind of, move the camera down, we're kind of hunched over on the keyboard. We're looking at our cell phones like this. And, you don't really think about it. I think a lot of everyday people joke about, yeah, I got like crappy posture and it's not great, but there's not really a solution that's cognizant or very easy to do that's going to fix it for the long run, right? And, we've heard countless stories of people going to see their chiropractors and like back surgeons and like all these types of things, or PT even, to address this pain. And you think about the spend in the U.S. is about 100 billion plus annually for the management and diagnosis of back pain. So the number's only going up, just given how active people are using social media, digital technology in the workplace, and especially with COVID. Everybody's been at home, slumped over probably their laptop or something like that. So again, it's a huge issue, and we wanted to create something that's super simple. You don't really have to think that much, but it's tangibly going to improve the body. And the way that our core product is this T-shirt I'm wearing, the core T. The way that it generally works is to really serve as a reminder and to teach your body actually how to activate the muscles. There's a lot of stuff out there that's maybe compression based, that's super tight shirts, or Amazon, you'll see these like $20 straps that a lot of people are willing to try out just because it's low barrier to entry. You throw it on, and it's kind of good for like a little bit. The issue comes, the feedback we've gotten is from compliance. People don't necessarily want to wear that all day long. The really tight shirts hurt. They're difficult to put on. You get sweaty real quick. So, and they force you back. And so you're not actually activating those muscles necessarily, which could be bad for you in the long run. The straps, same concept. They're really tight. They hold you back. And you'll often see in their descriptions, do not wear more than 1 hour. A lot of times, and it's kind of funny because it's kind of doing the work for you in the sense that they're forcing you back so your muscles aren't engaged. So the whole premise of us is, we built a technology that, it's hard to describe in person. We get this like wow factor from people that wear it, and I get hundreds of texts from a lot of people we've tested on, just like, I miss that feeling. That's crazy. I don't know how to describe it. And so it's been helpful for us being on the Forme Tour, and we'll get to that later, getting a lot of player reactions and just general people on these courses. It's been really cool. But essentially, anytime you're slouched over, you get a sensation or feedback within the shirt that actually triggers your muscles to your shoulder blades, let's call it, to move back and down. So you're in the right position. And this constant tension back and forth is what trains your body to actually improve itself, activate the muscles, and train them. So actually, people, when they wear it for the first day or two, they actually get kind of sore because they've never used these back scapular muscles, their lower back, to fire. So you're standing up straighter, getting back in a more neutral position. So you don't have that tension on your head, neck, and spine.
So obviously posture is really important in the golf swing. That kind of sets up everything that you do. And there are also a lot of golfers who have, frankly, poor posture, and that translates into bigger back problems down the line, and just the natural reality of hunching over thousands of times over the course of your life.
Exactly.
Golf, it adds up for a lot of people. So what can form mean for a golfer, whether they're at the stage of their life where they don't really have back trouble, or whether they are someone at the stage of their life where maybe their back's starting to act up on them?
Yeah, no, it's a great question and great point. I think by nature of golf, just like you said, we're set up in a position that's rounded and forward. So when you do that, certain factors in the golf swing can be affected. When you have protracted, or what that means is rounded shoulders over the ball, some people more severe than others, you can cause limits in rotation. As one example, you're kind of crushing your rib cage, your chest coming over. You can't turn as far. So we actually did some studies with some golf fitness professionals just to test that fact. And, they've proven or shown, at least with their sample size of patients and guys they work with, that people can turn further with thoracic rotation by like 20, 30 degrees with a shirt on than without it.
Hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to improve at golf. If you have a bad swing, you're still going to be bad, but at least it puts your body in a place where you're putting less stress and pressure on the different joints, on the different, body parts like the spine. So you can actually have a chance to turn more. For some people that have physical challenges or, maybe they're getting older, they've dealt with some injuries, this can be a transformative thing for them to go improve and enjoy the game again. It's frustrating for people that are hacking around there because their body just won't function, right? So that's one aspect. The other aspect is really just overall quality of life, right? So when you think about how people are stressed out, they're working, putting all this tension constantly all over the body, the last thing you want to think about is like, how can I feel better out there, right? So when you wear this kind of shirt, you can really free up the body. You're reducing that tension. It actually helps with circulation, right? Because with better posture, you're not constricting a lot of the joints. You're not constricting the muscles. So you're able to potentially get more circulation, more oxygenation, opening up the chest and lungs. So again, people are a little more alert. So a lot of the actual tour pros and guys playing out on the various PGA tours out there, they've given us great feedback that they feel more alert when they practice and train with this on. Post-workout, when you're fatigued, again, people have a tendency to come compressed downwards. It helps them a lot for recovery. And then the last bit I think that's super important for everyday people that are listening to this is when you think about travel. Again, when you're in long car rides, you're on the plane, again, you're going to be always slumped over. You're in really tight, compressed spaces that maybe is out of your control. But what the biggest feedback the players have given us is they love wearing it when they're commuting, when they're traveling to work or to the course, or again, in between tournaments on like a 6 to 8 week grind, right? And it's been a phenomenal change because they don't have to get a masseuse or like PT to come in and spend an extra 3 hours on their back and neck and traps and things like that. It's automatic. And at the same time, you don't have to think about it. You're actually training it. So it's a really easy tool. I think what I'd say for everybody is to try to make yourself aware, to teach yourself the right habits over the long run. Because once you've worn this consistently and you take it off, your body actually remembers where it should be. And so obviously we're not calling this like the only fix for body because everyone has different issues musculoskeletally. Maybe they have some severe spine issues and whatnot, but it's a great tool to help build out the right habits to really train yourself so you can catch yourself when you do slouch over. Like for example, if I'm using my cell phone here, obviously like you're going to hunch over at some point when you're looking down, but I'm aware that that's the wrong thing rather than the status quo of everybody thinking this is comfortable. Because when you walk around the street, 99% of people have that turtleneck or kind of are slumped over, but that feels normal until it's too late, right? Yeah. Until you start seeing that pain, until you start feeling discomfort and affecting your life. So we're really just there to build the best foundation for your life and really just change the way people think and live. Right, it doesn't just translate to golf; it translates to everyday life. So that's the general premise of it.
Yeah, that's a really important point. I think that playing golf is a stress on the body. Don't get me wrong, but stress in life is a stress on the body. So
exactly
that with you to the golf course, it doesn't just suddenly melt away when you step on the first tee and prepare to play golf. And in fact, maybe even the opposite, because for people, golf is a stressful thing. So you're almost compounding the problem by playing a sport where if you don't feel right, you kind of get tense. You build tension, you death grip the club, you try to move too hard.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Really, your body,
the whole spectrum on the course.
Yeah, your body doesn't want to do that kind of stuff. But you have something that, like you said, relaxes you, allows your body to move, that gives you more potential power, at least. I mean, like you said, your swing stinks.
Yeah. We're not claiming guys are going to swing it like Bryson out there, but
no. And let's not recommend that to anybody for any reason. But at least if you feel less tense, if you feel like you can move your body better naturally, that's going to result in a better golf swing, just generally speaking.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to just put you in the right place as a baseline body standpoint so that you can go perform and do whatever it is you do. It doesn't have to be golf. It could be running, it could be tennis, it could just be going to the bar. I don't know. Just like we do have guys doing that too, which is pretty funny. But we just want you to feel confident, look great, and then improve your body so that again you can go do whatever it is you need to do, feeling great at it.
So how long do folks typically wear a Forme shirt on average? Do they wear it as a whole day thing? Do they wear it as a rest and recovery thing? I mean, how do folks kind of use this use case?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different spectrum, again, based on everyone's needs and their work schedule, right? We can't predict that. My piece of advice is to at least wear it consistently. because the whole premise is the muscle training, muscle memory. And so my prescription to people, regardless of what their typical routine is try to wear for like 1 to 3 hours a day consistently. When you think about when you're coming home from work, you're just like watching sports on TV at home on the couch, just throw it on. You don't have to think. It's still going to teach you those benefits as you're wearing it. Obviously, people with more severe problems, or let's say they're in an office job where they have to wear a suit, you can wear it as an undershirt. So there are a ton of guys I know that have bought it and wear it for their 8 to 12-hour workday in the office too, because they've dealt with it for years, all these back pain and other spinal issues, right? So you can do that as well. Other guys I know, or the pro athletes in particular, where we've seen a lot of benefit, let's call it like in the NBA, MLB, NHL, we work with a lot of trainers and some of the pro athletes there. Those guys love wearing it either during their workout or afterwards. And I think the biggest piece of feedback there that the trainers really loved was actually, they're doing a lot of good work in the gym when they're with their training staff and the PTs. But the second they leave the gym, they go back home, again, they're back to the bad habits, cell phone, playing video games, computer, and they're undoing all the great things that they were doing with the team staff. So they get really frustrated with the players. And obviously it's out of their control because you got to live your own life. But you're kind of undoing all this great work. And, for them, it's millions of dollars at risk, right? For these players, for their own career. So they love this shirt. And we got so many people on board early on because it works, right? It's simple to think about. For the players, they have all this stuff on their plate. They just got to throw it on. They don't got to think. And again, it's helping their body recover and do the right habits early on. So it's a nice benefit. And that was a nice case study for us from people who, have to keep their body in the peak physical shape to perform. But it translates all the way down to the average Joe, the whole spectrum.
All right, so let's talk about the investment in the Forme Tour, PGA Tour Canada with COVID restrictions. Yep. Reality was that just wasn't going to be an international tour this year for Americans who wanted to play PGA Tour Canada. So you guys teamed up with the PGA Tour and came up with the Forme Tour to make an option for American players with still the benefits available to them, that they can get to the Corn Ferry Tour with great opportunities there to get to the PGA Tour next year. How did that come about, and what's kind of your long view on being invested in the sport of golf?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you think about what COVID did to the golf realm, particularly, a lot of the PGA affiliated tours, devastated it, right? We took everything off for at least half a year to a year. PGA Tour Canada, PGA Tour China were both canceled on the spot. So you got maybe like 400 to 800 players, depending on conditional status or full status, that had nowhere to go. You think about all the college players and all Americans, all these like top level talent, again, coming out of school. So you just got thousands of people that have no true place to play. So everybody's just grinding on these small mini tours wherever they can find opportunities. And it's difficult for them to chase a dream because, again, there's no avenue up there. I don't even know if Q School was played in 2020. It might have been canceled. So, so when you think about this in 2021, the same thing was about to happen. This is early on. I sit on the board of the American Junior Golf Association, and there's another guy, Rob Ono, who's a senior vice president of the PGA Tour, is on the board with me as well. So we were actually catching up in early February talking about this. And, he was talking about how there was a potential danger of Canada having the same situation happen, just given the cross-border issues. They were trying to have everybody that was coming in the border quarantined for at least 2 weeks, which is a significant burden, obviously impossible for the American players to constantly have to quarantine 2 weeks. You'd miss most of the events coming back and forth. So that wasn't realistic. PGA Tour China got canceled as well. So again, you have these same issues going on. And so we got our heads together and we're like, we'd love to bring this to America, provide the same benefit. This is what we got to do. We had about 2 to 3 weeks to put it together. We came back, met with our marketing team, met with our board, and, it made sense to really provide this opportunity. And for me, it's a personal thing for us as well, because we have in our family, we have a pretty big golf background. We all played college golf, and some of us at a really high level. So it was, we know a lot of these players out there. We know the grind and struggle. And it's really difficult for, the guys that are just emerging, the development golfers. Like, we want to provide them every opportunity they can. And you think about how PGA Tour Canada, I think it's like 86 to 88% American.
Yeah.
And it's the strongest of the 3 international tours by far. So when you think about the alumni that have made it through Corn Ferry to the PGA Tour, a significant number have proven themselves and for the right reasons to make it and stay up on these top tours. So we wanted to really make that investment to, again, invest in the best American talent out there and global talent as well, but just providing that platform here domestically as a US based company, while also, again, providing opportunities for people to showcase it and educate them along the way. You know, how do you really take care of your body? How do you prevent injury? Because you've seen tons of guys out there, you know, kind of lose their careers just given a spine injury, back injury, neck injury, just little things that you can do to prevent that wear and tear, to maintain the body in, you know, as best of form as you can. So that's where it kind of came about. We got together in about 3 weeks to sign contract, and then from there, we, you know, the PGA Tour team's been incredible at just organizing this, finding all the venues that are fantastic in such a short period of time. And so, you know, I've already gone to the first 2 events, and they've been fantastic and really fun to see some of the players out there and just interact. So I think for the game of golf, you know, this is something great for us to help try to grow it, develop the best talent, and then educate people out there. And then to answer your question about long term, you know, we're starting to get, you know, a lot more traction now. You know, in the past, we had dabbled a little bit with golf, just individual players we knew in some of their circles with guys on PGA Tour and Korn Ferry and some of the other tours out there. But now we're starting to get a lot more notice with, you know, top instructors and top golf fitness professionals are taking notice and like, wow, this fundamentally has a big change. And so there are guys at the British Open right now wearing our stuff, and it may translate. You'll start to see it translate over in the next couple of months. But we're excited to start getting into golf shops, into certain areas of the golf world. And, you know, as a product, you know, it can be a t-shirt. You know, we have a polo version of it that you could potentially wear on the course to play as well, like this. But, you know, for everyday use and practice, like you can totally wear this t-shirt. And I think beyond the golf course, it translates, like we said earlier, everyday lifestyle, the office, driving, traveling, flying, whatever it is you're doing, you can use it to, again, improve and elevate that quality of life.
Yeah, so it's another tool in your wellness arsenal, and that for a golfer, professional golfer or otherwise, is absolutely vital playing your best golf. So, Seiji, thanks so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. It's really cool to learn more about Forme and the investments you guys have made. Best of success moving forward, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks so much for your time, and take care.